Hello, my lovely friends. It is time once more for a story. A tale from the internet. A tale from a Reddit user whose name I can't say on YouTube, but I appreciate your input. We'll call you my S ideation. I'm sure you know who you are, and I do thank you for sending in your story. I also understand that YouTube is unbelievably insane. I know. But let's continue with the story, shall we? This is Bogbeard. Everything about this title is already making me feel kind of uncomfortable, especially because this is rated as NSFW on the channel, so here we go. This has been done via speech-to-text and also typing on mobile, so I apologize for mistakes and grammar. That's fine. Greetings to the Moon Herd, Uncle Moonhorse, hello, and Redx and the crew, if they see this. They might. If you don't know either channel, please go take a look. Moonhorse is an amazingly kind man, and Redx I haven't spoken to, but seems very kind also. They both make great content. If you haven't heard of me and you're listening to my channel, how did you get here? This is a long time coming, and it's not a very nice story, but it is one that I need to get off my chest. This is the story of Bogbeard. Oh boy. I was a single mom at the time to a 2-year-old who would soon be diagnosed autistic with other disabilities and other issues. Bless him. And I was so very depressed that I allowed someone back into my life for some stupid reason whom I really shouldn't have. Not nicest person in the past, though at points we were friends, then weren't, and then just cordial. I knew his missus, and she had a child not long after me, so I helped out as support for her, telling him off on things. I moved away when my son neared 2 years old, and whilst in this new place, became even lower and got back in touch with Bogbeard, mainly to see how his son was. As the story always goes, he seemed to have changed. He seemed to have regretted his actions in the past of being mean about my dyspraxia. I'm not sure what that is. You know what? I'm going to look it up, just so I don't come off as stupid. I mean, I am stupid, but at least I can try. Dyspraxia is a neurodevelopmental disorder of movement and coordination in which messages sent from the brain to the muscles are interrupted. I didn't know that. I learned something new today. And other things, so I gave him a chance. He was still a bit of a beardo, always had been, but put on a lot of charm. He was great with my son and brought his son over to stay on weekends. His son loved being around me as well. He basically used my son to get into my affections deeply. Oh, that's just not okay. After a few months of weekend visits, he tells me he's been kicked out by his mother or something stupid. She had kicked him out before, and me being the person I am, I let him move in with me, which was the biggest mistake. But I couldn't stand the thought of someone being homeless, and he really did guilt me about being homeless, as I had lived in a bed and breakfast in hotels from my teens, around 16 to 20. I advised him on a few things. He told me that it was unlikely he would be able to get into a hostel or a B&B, so he'd sleep in the woods, like the last time when she kicked him out. So I let him come stay with me, as I really wasn't wanting that. Things changed fast. The first red flag was telling me that he didn't want me getting more tattoos because he doesn't want to have sex with a comic book. Sir, it's not your body. You don't get to make those decisions. I went quiet, and he picked up on my issue with what he said and took it back. He gave us some crap and then apologized that I took it the wrong way. Oh, real classy. I should have kicked him out then and there. I know this now, and part of me knew it back then. Next came the whore jokes. Oh, here we go. He knew about a mutual friend lying that he took my virginity whilst I was a teen. He knew that his mates would shout it out even if I was with family. I have a military father, and I didn't get on with my family at the time. It went on so long that it caused trauma and agoraphobia. Jesus fuck. It also led to me getting assaulted by a different person for a long time in school, pretty much daily for over a year, because obviously I was easy. What the actual fuck? What a horrible little piece of shit. This again causing more trauma. Yeah, understandably so. Holy shit, dude. Worse still was that he kept telling me that the guy was such a nice guy when they hung out. Oh, fuck off. So he knew that anything like that was an even more hurtful thing to do. He admitted to never doing that type of thing to any of his exes. He stopped after several times of me breaking down over it. He would lord it over me in arguments that he stopped doing that and then changed for me to make me feel guilty, silly as it sounds. No, this is straight up manipulation. This is absolute emotional manipulation. Wow. What a fucking asshole. He went to one job interview, and after that, nothing. I was paying for his kids, his travel, his hobbies, festivals, and he would use my card without asking, buying games instead of asking me. I pawned off all my jewelry and got out loans, because I needed money. I'd never been in debt in my life. He said that his bank was after him for £5,000, and when he gets a job, he'll pay it. So everything had to be in my name. My credit was good. Emphasis on was. By the end of the relationship, after nearly 7 years, I was left with £40,000 in debt that I am still paying off as a mom on benefits with severe mental illness and chronic pain issues. Holy fucking shit, dude. Speaking of pain issues, he would take half my pain meds each month. Oh. What the... I'm so beyond angry that I'm losing words. Usually more, as he would guilt me out of them. Then he would complain about having to go to a pharmacy to get me meds to help me when I ran out. He even made out to my parents he only ever took a few tablets, and that I was using all this extra. Caused a huge wedge between my parents, and treated me like an addict, and I got angry. Yeah, they're just... The checklist is going off. I'm trying to hold off on going onto a rant until the end of this, kids. I'm sorry. Only years later, we realized what was going on. To this day, we're still finding things that he'd told them and me that differed to cause issues. He used my son's special needs to cause a wedge as well, telling me that if he were quote-unquote normal, my parents would want more to do with him. Just when I thought I couldn't get angrier. He had me believing this, and that he was all I had. He was basically manipulative as hell. Yeah, big fucking yeah. Misogynistic to boot, and a liar, and an obvious one at that. His stories and tales of almighty chivalry, drug escapades, and fight were obviously elaborated upon, or completely untrue. Now, because he was the quote-unquote sane one, and I was quote-unquote mental, he made me believe my abuse by him was in my head, and I became heavily medicated. I lost all interest in sex, as it often happens with antidepressants, antipsychotics, and sleeping meds mixed with pain medication. It was during this time that he would guilt me into sex that I didn't want. It just keeps ratcheting up, doesn't it? The sob story of how he felt unattractive and that I was doing this to him on purpose, even with his knowledge of my medication. Also, I'm sorry, but... quote, get on the bed and I go baby wipe my junk, unquote, is hardly going to get anyone in the mood, even if they weren't medicated. Is this man just like a living fucking landfill? Like, oh my fucking god, dude. I'm sorry, I'm just really fucking angry. One day, in so much pain and after a bad night, I told him once my son was in school, I was going to take my meds and try to sleep. Now, a fun side effect was random sleep paralysis, and when in pain, I'd sleep knees to chest and face down. You can see where this is going. Oh, no. No. He did things I'm not allowed to say on YouTube, but I think you already know what they are, don't you, kids? Yeah. If he'd ever bothered even looking at me, he'd have seen my eyes open and... tears. I don't know where paralysis stopped and shock kept me paralyzed, but after he did say, quote, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, no fucking shit, you shouldn't have done that. And left, shutting the door behind him. I was stuck there in disbelief. I decided to write it all down along with other things I'd been writing because I was sure this wasn't my mental illness and that I was in an abusive relationship. I waited 2 days for him to tell me what he did before going to him. He tried manipulation again, that it was a sexual incident. I seemed to have acted upon it. He didn't finish, so on and so forth. So I threw the book at him. He read everything and had a go at me. He kept telling me that he was, quote, the sane one. Also not to tell my parents, as they would stop him seeing my son, which would traumatize him because he's autistic. Oh, fuck off. Oh, fuck off. I later found out his first thought after assaulting me was about him becoming homeless. Wow. Also, he told me that he wished he knew I was breaking things off because he would have got me to get him another laptop first. Oh, this motherfucker. I didn't break up with him after the assault. It was sometime after that when I came off my meds and out of the fog and confided in 2 friends about stuff that happened. That's when I was told I'd get nothing better than him, and he grabs at me trying to convince me to have one last hookup. Oh, fucking... Oh. There's so much more to this, but it all circles and shouts in my head. I know I've already come out quite messy as it is, and I apologize for that. No, after what you've been through, this is totally fucking understandable. I still hear him and have trauma, nearly 7 years of emotional, mental, financial abuse, and I'm bound to be left with issues. Paying off things still obviously doesn't help when trying to get him out of my life. I hear all his manipulation, and I still believe I deserved a lot of what was done to me, but that's how it goes. I suffered self-ending things, but I am a mother, so I didn't act on it. I still get nightmares when I fall asleep in the same position when in pain sometimes. I've been heard telling him to leave me alone in my sleep, even years on. He did a huge number on me, and he is happily living life without a care. I lost my stepson and a good chunk of money, sanity, and time in that quote-unquote relationship. I am just now listening to music again, as I wasn't allowed to listen to my own music. There were actually quite a few things I wasn't allowed to do. I haven't gone into a lot of his beard qualities, but he always had been bad with hygiene, awful at points that made my parents almost vomit, but they were too polite to say anything. His gaming, both console and computer, I'd known from our teen years, had just continued, but got all more consuming at the point that the sofa had a groove imprint from his sitting on it so much. Wow. I'm not saying I was great in this relationship, but mainly sometime due to abuse and meds, I became quiet and complacent passenger in my abuse and the downfall of living quality. I'd be told off for pronouncing words not the way he found correct and scolded for other things as well. Just beaten down, really. I apologize for the silliest things. I hope with help I can recover from all of this one day, but it's been a few years and so far it's not close yet. To all those who have experienced similar, I send hugs and lots of hope and healing. Signing off due to tears. Again, I'm sorry for the mess this is. I had to do this in parts, but I still couldn't do it properly. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit. I'm sorry, just give me a minute. No, man. First things first. First fucking things first. You need to know that none of this was your fault. It was not your fault, okay? Don't call yourself a miss. Don't blame yourself for this. And don't say that you did something wrong. Alright? This evil motherfucker did this shit to you. This evil, diabolical little shit stain on humanity did this shit to you. That is not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You were manipulated. But that doesn't make you a bad person. Okay? For all the stuff that you described, all the shit you went through, and the fact that you held it together to make sure that your child is taken care of, that your family is taken care of, you came out of this a fucking hero. He's the monster here, okay? I can't even begin to imagine the shit you went through. I can't even start to understand how you feel, but I can tell you that none of this was your fault, and you should not beat yourself up over this. I don't even know what to say, you know? I don't know what to say. I can't say anything to make it better. That's the hardest part. That is honestly the most difficult thing about this whole situation, is my instinct is to try and do something to help to make it better, and I can't. There's nothing I can do that'll fix this. But I can tell you that you are a wonderful person. That you did not deserve any of this. And that myself and everyone in this community have got your back if you need anything at all. You can come tell us. And now this motherfucker. This Bogbeard piece of shit. It doesn't matter if he's a neckbeard or not. I know that was a worry when you kind of wrote this, and look how I have to talk about the beard thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a neckbeard story on this channel, but I can tell you what he is. He's a fucking monster. He's an absolute piece of shit. He's a fucking failure as a human being. The shit he did to you is unforgivable. His whole worry, I might have to live in the woods. Yeah, I fucking hope you do. Yeah, I fucking hope you do for the rest of your fucking life. And I hope the rest of your life isn't exactly a long one, if you understand what I'm saying, you fucking horrible little monster. You absolute fucking... Ugh. There are not words enough to express my anger with this. This motherfucker hits every single one of the horrible checkpoints. And to just try and excuse the horrible shit he did, to just try and play it off like it was just... you don't know. No, fuck you, dude. Fuck you and everybody who looks like you. Just... No, man. Fuck off with that shit. Evil little fucker. Ugh. There's so many things I'd like to say, but so many things that, we're not allowed to, but you can tell I'm thinking them. You know where this is going. You know how it is. And the most important thing is that we support ROP, and we are caring, and, that we do what we can to help them. This fucker, this Bogbeard motherfucker, is just garbage forever. I don't know where he ends up, but I hope it's nowhere good. But we do have someone who does need our help. OP, I can't even imagine what you went through, and I can't express to you how horrible this all is and how we wish we could do more to help. But we'll do everything we can, and we're always here. And if you ever think that you might hear from this guy again, even remotely, tell somebody. You do not, for any reason, deserve that kind of fucking shit in your life. I'm sorry, guys. This one messed me up a little bit. So we're gonna end the video. Just. I don't know. Just be safe out there, okay? This is fucked, but be safe. Take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.